Namaste everyone. So this is a follow-up video on on the last video of on jyotish and karmic intricacies. Okay, so this is a video on trying to understand how do remedies fit into this picture of of jyotish and karmic intricacies. Of course, the entire section of remedies cannot be covered in a single video, but then this will be a small attempt on my part to to show how remedies fit into the big picture. Okay. So in the previous video on jyotish and karmic intricacies, what I had said or what I had mentioned is that remedies will work only when only under certain conditions. Okay, and for remedies to work, we must understand, as astrologers, we must first understand where the problem is occurring. Okay, so remedies will not work if the if the problem is happening in the fixed signs. Okay, fixed signs are the sign of are the signs of Taurus, Leo, Scorpio, and Aquarius. So if any problem or if any planet that is causing a problem is placed in these signs, then it would be very difficult for it will be almost it's next to impossible for remedies to work, because these signs and the planets placed in these signs, they represent the drida karmas. Okay, that means the fixed karmas. All right, then remedies would very easily work in if a problem is happening in the movable signs, that means in the sign of Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Okay, because these are the these signs and these the planets placed in these signs, they represent adrida karmas or non-fixed karmas. Okay, and then the dual signs, that means Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. So they represent the fixed and non-fixed karmas. That means they represent the drida karmas, and the native or the jataka has to put a lot of effort in doing remedies for planets placed in these signs. But at the end of the day, if the efforts are are done in a correct way, with the methods, if the correct ways are followed in doing rituals and remedies, then these these karmas can be modified or they can be changed. Okay, so this was a recap of what we had covered in the last video. Now when we come to remedies, are actually known as upay. Okay, remedies are actually known as upay, and the word upay is a Sanskrit word which actually stands for method. Okay, and any kind of upay refers in jyotish to the use of agama and kriyamana karmas to remedy adverse astrological combinations. Okay, and although remedies are not a formal are not a formal part of jyotish, many astrologers would say that remedies don't really exist. Okay, but then remedies do work. Okay, remedies do work, and if you explore remedies further, then there is a special branch of jyotish which are known as astro remedies. Okay, and jyotish or astrology or Vedic astrology can often diagnose the good and bad times one will encounter in this life. Okay, but it is a upay which can help to augment the good and mitigate the bad. Okay, and many people say that there are no there are no remedies in jyotish because everything is predestined. Okay, but what what heart defoes Guruji Mantriji, okay, what he says is that it is not possible to prevent an accident using remedies, but using remedies you can ensure that instead of amputating a limb, you only break a toe. So this is how remedies work. Okay, so for remedies to work, the person has to be well motivated for it to make it work. Okay, because it involves the use of free will. So remedy is often given to a well motivated person. Okay, a well motivated person is given a method by the astrologer by which the person can neutralize some undesirable karmas, which so as to so as to ensure that that a difficult time is mitigated. Okay, so this person who is given the remedy is supposed to implement that method for whatever time and with whatever intensity is necessary. Okay, so the key word to understand is the key word to understand here is well motivated. Why? Because a poorly motivated person will either lack the discipline or follow through, or will find obstacles cropping up regularly to interrupt the process. Okay, and anytime you start a upay, nature will always create some kind of obstacles for you. This is a certain thing to happen. Okay, and these obstacles to any kind of upay, they occur particularly for drida karmas. Why? Because the force of this karma, it strongly discourages a change in the direction in that area of life. Okay, so because a change is discouraged, the karmas will themselves interfere with the person's motivation to implement the remedy. Okay, so when the karma is non-fixed, okay, the Jyotishi will expect immediate change on commencement of an upaya. Okay, and if the karmas are, if the karmas are, as I said, if the karma is adrida, the Jyotishi will, will ensure or will be able to ensure that the situation changes immediately after performing a upaya. But if the karmas are, if the karmas are drida, okay, then results are anticipated after certain concentrated efforts. Maybe after a period of 40 days or maybe after a period of 90 days, because these are representations of one mandala or one astrological cycle. Okay. But then, even for those who do persevere, transformation of fixed karmas may not necessarily be expected during this lifetime, though a slight notification of results will perhaps be, be secretly anticipated. Okay, so if you have done a remedy for a drida karma which is fixed, you may not see the result in this lifetime, but it is assumed that at least because you have done the remedy, at least your next lifetime will be better. Okay, so what I'm trying to imply is that as long as the upayas are patiently and consistently resorted to over the course of this, of this interaction, of this interaction that we have, of this, of this human form that we have taken, they will, they will act as well planted seeds whose crop of desired results will be reaped during a future lifetime or a future incarnation. Okay, and remedies, they exist for every planet except for Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, because these planets were never a part of traditional Jyotish. Okay, nowadays a lot of astrologers are trying to bring up remedies for Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, but they don't really work, and I don't take them seriously. So this is, of course, my personal opinion. Okay, and there are several methods of upaya. Okay, they may appear in traditional texts, they may not appear in traditional texts, but then the most important methods are mantras. Okay, so mantras are sacred syllables, hymns or prayers which flow from the heart. Then these mantras are devoid of elaborate ritual. Then there are certain mantras. Okay, there are certain mantras whose recitation as a part of ritually elaborate private or or public mantras, they may go on for days. Okay, there are certain rituals which require recitation of mantras. For example, if you're doing a mantra for alleviating vaastu dosh, what happens is that the recitation of those mantras, they go on for days or maybe months or even years. Okay, then there is the gemstone therapy, which indicates wearing of specific gemstones or other objects, and then a consumption of particular foods or other elaborately prepared substances. Observance of fasts are a part of remedies, and then there are vows, okay, where you promise a deity to to visit a temple, or maybe to construct a temple, or maybe to donate a certain amount of money if your if your wish is fulfilled. That is a vow. Then there is worship of the fire, which is of course also known as homa or yajna. Then there is also worship of the planets, the graha devatas, and then there are specific acts of charity attempted to change one's karmic karmic blueprint. Okay, and this tradition of upaya is partially oral and partially written. Okay, and there is a there is out of the written works, the karmatha gruhu. Okay, this is the text, the karmatha gruhu of Pandit Mukunda Ballava. It is one representative work which deals with some of the more elaborate rituals. Okay, it has been said that if all existing upayas are written out, then this literature of upayas would actually exceed that of all the numerous branches of Jyotish. Okay, so as I said, upaya is a huge field, and some upayas are orally transmitted from the master to the student and then to the succeeding students. Okay, and just because remedies exist and are given, it does not mean that one is home free. Okay, for example, if you want to use a gemstone as an upaya for like a diamond, okay, maybe if there is some Venusian imbalance in the in the chart, and and the upaya is given to the jataka is asked to wear a diamond as an upaya, then how well this remedy will work will depend on how accurate is the diagnosis. That means the one predicting this remedy also has to be very, very capable. Okay, and then how appropriate the diamond is. Okay, the diamond will vary according to the weight, the diamond will vary according to the quality. Then who gives the upaya? Okay, the person who giving the upaya or the remedy must be a spiritually awakened person. Okay, you cannot get an upaya from just all and sundry. Okay, and then there is also a process of empowering any kind of gemstone that you wear. Okay, so there are very elaborate rituals of empowering the gemstone. And finally, there is also the condition for muhurta. Okay, that means you have to, you have to obtain the stone, you have to set the stone, you have to first wear the stone at a particular time period, which is classified as muhurta. Okay, so this criteria of the accuracy of the problem, the accuracy of the diagnosis, that is the appropriate, the appropriate weight of the, of the gemstone, from whom the upaya is coming from, how the gemstone has been empowered, and in which muhurta the gemstone has been worn. So these criteria, they apply to every remedy. Okay, especially, in the use of bija mantras. Okay, so bija mantras are loosely translated as seed sounds. So bija means seed, and the bija mantra is a sound which, which like a seed, it enters one's consciousness and sprouts into a devata or a deity. Okay, so in jyotish, each planet has a bija mantra which can create the energy of that planet in the unconscious or the subconscious of whoever repeats it properly. Okay, there are no bija mantras for Uranus, Neptune, or Pluto. Okay, so if anyone is giving you bija mantras for these grahas, they are simply cheating you. Okay, and to use a bija mantra properly, you must first establish that the planet in question needs to be strengthened. Okay, then you must ensure that you are using the correct mantra, which you must receive during an initiation at an appropriate muhurta. So these are the very important factors to consider while, while taking up a mantra sadhana. Okay, and then as the jatak, you must also begin to recite the mantra at the appropriate moment. And then you must be very, very careful to maintain a sattvic lifestyle. Okay, by not, by not indulging in illicit, illicit physical relations, or not, not consuming meat, or, not consuming alcohol, because bija mantras are very, very powerful. They are not meant to be used very lightly. They are not meant to be thrown around very casually. Okay. So this is my take on upayas. It's a, it's a very small presentation I have made here, and I've attempted to make here rather. And should you have any doubts regarding, regarding any, any query of your chart, or if you want a consultation, you're most welcome to reach me at the number given in the description box. Okay, so that's it from my end. Thank you for watching. I'll see you soon in another video. Om Gurave Namaha.